going on, y'all? Wednesday, phase 11. All right, so we have a little different look this month. Yesterday and the day before look the same. This one's a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to start the first half of the workout looking very similar. We're going to do our 5 exercises at 1 minute apiece for the starter. So you're going to go standing W's, tricep dips, blast strap curls, arm curl extensions, and thrusters. So let's go over a standing W. So Jamie's going to be doing it with a band hooked up down low. Ronnie's got a set of dumbbells. Either way, arms are out at a 45-degree angle. So out and down, and you're going to rotate up into this W position. Okay, and as you do that, you're going to work the rotators in the back of the shoulder, and you're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together too, so we get those scapula working. Because today's row day. Okay, abs are tight, glutes are tight. Oh, today's arm day. Sorry, today's shoulder day. Shoulder day, my bad. So today's shoulder day, and we need to make sure your shoulder blades are sitting in the right spot for your presses. Okay, so you have a minute of those, keeping that core tight. Okay, now we're going into tricep dips. So if you have a bench or a stool or a chair, follow Ronnie. If not, follow Jamie. So your hands are about hip to shoulder width apart. You're going to pull your shoulder blades back. Jamie has to lift her hips off the ground as high as she can. Now both of their goals is to push their elbows back behind them and then pull them forward into a lockout. They're not moving their bodies back and forth, they're moving their elbows back and forth. So that allows their bodies to stay vertical in their movement and their triceps to do all the work. Less shoulder. Might be a smaller range of motion, but it's all tricep. Okay, we got a minute here. All right. Third movement, blast strap curl. So Jamie's going to set up a band, kind of like a blast strap. Ronnie's going to actually use blast straps, but remember, if you have TRX straps or rings, those all work the same. So the key is your arms are up and out. Okay, your arms or your elbows are about shoulder level, a little bit higher, leaning back a little bit, and you're going to curl. Hands towards the temples. All right, so Jamie's got it doubled up. There we go. We're leaning back, abs are tight, glutes are tight. There you go. So make sure your elbows don't drop. Keep those elbows up high. We're trying to hit those arms a little bit differently. Okay. Blades should be apart. Don't squeeze them together. It's going to make you use the wrong muscles. So blades apart so your elbows can be up. You got a minute. All right, now we got arm curl extensions. So we're going to let Ronnie show this, and then Jamie's going to do a slightly different version. So arm curl extension, there's a key to this that has to be done right. So he's going to do a hammer curl till those dumbbells touch his shoulder. Now, keeping the dumbbell on his shoulder, he's going to rotate up till the elbows are pointed to the sky. Now he's in perfect overhead tricep extension position. Back down till the dumbbells touch the shoulders again, and he rotates it down. So we got to get the dumbbell on the shoulders so we can rotate. Otherwise, we're going to curl it, press it, do a tricep extension. We're not trying to press before we press, okay? We're going to press later on in this starter. So that's the key there, to keep it in the biceps and triceps and not in the shoulder. We also get a nice little stretch when you do that in the lat. Now, Jamie, with the band, that rotation doesn't work because you end up with this part of the band just across your face. So she will do some set number of curls, somewhere between, say, 5 and 10. And then she will go up into that overhead tricep extension. Same idea, kind of roll it up there, and she'll do 5 or 10 there. She'll just go back and forth every 5 to 10 reps, doing curls and overhead tricep extensions, okay? Now, as far as your elbows go, you've probably heard in the past, elbows tight to your head or elbows pointing forward. Sure, ideally, but if your shoulders don't move like that, don't force it. You're gonna cause a lot of shoulder problems. So you don't want your elbows here if you can help it. You want them tucked forward as much as you can comfortably, but let your shoulder comfort be your guide, okay? So you got a minute there. Now we're gonna finish out with something explosive, thrusters. Okay, so we did all the muscular warm-ups, got the muscles pumping and burning. Now we're going to do some thrusters. We're focused on the explosiveness. I would rather you do 3 reps and rest for 15 seconds and repeat that cycle and make sure they're all explosive than just doing a minute straight, slow and sloppy. Okay, so we got a good squat stance. Shoulders are, our feet are shoulder width apart, toes are turned out slightly. You're going to drive your knees apart and squat to the bottom. And you're going to drive your legs apart, stand and thrust, using the momentum of your stand-up to help you press. Okay, don't stand and then press. Your stand is initiating the press, right? It's all one movement. Got the abs pulled in, got the knees pushed out, chest is up, looks good. So notice how Ronnie's pushing so hard he's coming off the ground. That's a good thing, right? He's trying to be explosive. So make sure that you're checking on that explosive movement every few reps, if not every rep. All right, so you got a minute there. Your 5-minute starter is done, okay? We're on to the build-up circuit. So this is overhead press variation. Ronnie's gonna show barbell standing and dumbbell seated. Jamie's gonna show banded, seated, and handstand push-ups. So let's look at this kind of technique real quick. So he's going to grip that bar, he's going to torque his armpits so they're pointing towards me, which also brings his elbows in front of his shoulder, okay? So he's not winged back like this. Got those elbows and armpits torqued forward. All of this turns on when he does that. Elbows are now in the right position. He's going to start his press. Boom, at the top, he can drive his head through and lock out if he prefers. You can keep it here too. Just make sure you're not arching back in that position, okay? Yeah, we're not just leaning back doing that. So, boom. Now, I'm going to show one thing that we don't show all the time, going to overhead position. A lot of times, people will have their glutes tight and their abs pulled in, but their rib cage is poking. How they poke out? We're here. When that rib cage is up, we know you're arched here. So we're going to have you drop that rib cage, like a little mild crunch. Okay, so there's your movement there. All right, now they're both going to show a seated movement. Ronnie's got dumbbell, Jamie's got band. So you see that band goes under her butt and then in her hands. Okay, so they're both there. Because Jamie has immobility, I'm gonna have her go straight leg and a V-sit. So wide as she can go. She goes wide as she can. Ronnie, if he did that, you'd hear a snap. So Ronnie's not going to, but he has his knees bent, which allows him to roll his hips forward to keep his back straight. If he were to straighten his legs out, his butt would roll and his back would round, okay? So he has a bent knee because he has a little tightness in the hips. Now, armpits locked down and point forward, same idea, pressing up and back towards the ears. There we go. If I were to look at both of them from the side, their elbows are in front of their shoulder, all right? That alignment is elbows to the front of the body. That's important, all right? And elbows are under the hand, not here, not pressing like this, right? Elbows directly below the hand. Now, Jamie here, maybe she has no equipment, well, then she has to do handstand push-ups. So let's go over a couple options here. A regular kind of progression would be a pike push-up to start with. Feet on the ground, hands on the ground, butt or tailbone straight to the sky. Boom. Notice her angle forward. As she goes down, she shifts towards the fingertips. As she goes up, she shifts back towards her feet. Okay, that's going to help her not wing and make her shoulders hurt. Okay, if that's too easy, she elevates her feet on a stack of pads, or in this case, a bench. Okay, and we're doing the same presses here. Yes. Okay, same thing, got that forward angle. And then eventually, she's on the wall, doing a full handstand. Okay, I am wall. There you go. All right, so we got a lot of different options there, a lot of progressions. Okay, and then one day we can go into deficit. Show that real fast. So, whether your feet are elevated or not, face this way. Feet over here. We can go into a deficit. I'm gonna use a yoga block to elevate her feet. So put your feet here. Okay, so we're gonna elevate everything, her hands and her feet, all 3 points of contact. So that way now her body's up higher and she can try to get her head between those pads, all right? So now she's going from a pressing movement like this to a pressing movement even lower, all right? More range of motion. That's a great way to make it harder. Okay, so those are your options on your overhead presses. Now your reps, you're doing 3 rounds of this instead of 4, so 3 build-up rounds. You're either doing sets of 3, 8, 12, or in some situations you can choose a drop set. And your drop set on the 3 build-ups is 10 reps, 8 reps, 5 reps, okay? Because you're only doing 3, your intensities, your percentage intensities are 60, 70, 80 on the build-up, okay? All right, let's go into the accessory. What goes with the build-up overhead presses? It is a reverse plank flexor march. So Ronnie is going to put a band on. Nah, you're not going to worry about it. Ronnie's going to band up. You might use no band. Hopefully you have a band and can do it. So he is going to squeeze his blades together, lift his hips, squeezing his abs and glutes, locking his legs out, and now we are marching knee to chest, or alternating sides. There we go. Pressing into the ground, lifting those hips. However hard you squeeze the glutes, make sure the abs are equal. Okay, so you got 10 to 15 per leg here. Okay, 10 to 15 per leg after each of your build-ups. All right, so 2.5 minutes per round. We are done with the build-up. We're on to circuit 3. This is our top circuit. So you got your overhead presses. You're going 90% effort for either 3, 8, or 12. And then we're going to superset that with a yoga block oblique V-up. So she's going to be not fully on her side. She's up at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so she's going to roll back just a tiny bit. Yeah, so she's not all the way on her side. She's back a little bit, so her abs are kind of pointing up at an angle. Got the yoga block between her feet. Got her bottom arm down by her side, so she can use that elbow to sit up, and her top hand behind her head. So she is attempting to touch her elbow to her knee. She's using that bottom arm as much as she needs. She can always put that bottom hand behind her head and do prisoner oblique V-ups. Prisoner oblique V-ups.
Yeah, that would be this.
That would be like that. If she were to do it, it would look something like that.
At the bottom.
All right. Okay. So there's that. You got 10 to 15 per side after each of your top 3 sets. Okay. So 3 minutes per round. Done. All right. Let's go over these next 2 circuits. All right. Both of them are going to be 10-minute limits to try to get it done. Okay. This first one is a complex. We're going to call it a barbell complex. Ronnie's going to use a barbell. Jamie's going to use a band, but in the spirit of a barbell, she's going to put a broomstick or a PVC pipe through it so it feels like a barbell. Okay, you have front raise, body drag curls, straight arm kickbacks, and ab rollouts, or ab sliders in her case. And we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have 10 minutes to get as far down the ladder as you can. Okay, so Jamie's going to stand on the band. Double up.
Yes.
Okay, so she's going to put it somewhere kind of, where it doesn't slide too much. She's going to stand on it. We're going to pull the shoulders down, suck the abs in and up, and we're going to do front raises. I want you to watch your range of motion. It's not all the way up to parallel, and that's fine, all right? We're still getting the activation, okay? Just trying not to rest it on her thighs. Same thing with him. Shoulders down, palms down, okay? You got 10 front raises. As soon as those are done, flip your grip over. You're going to kind of crunch over a little bit, and you're going to drag that bar straight up the front of your body. The key here is that the elbows kick back and up. Okay, we're getting a tight squeeze right here. Look at both of their wrists. They're flexed. They're hyper flexed. That's important, okay? We're flexing the wrist, so we're not curling with the forearms, right? That lets us drag it up the body. That bar should slide up your body. You should get a nice tight squeeze as you kick those elbows high behind you. Okay, after 10 of those, we're gonna step through, get that bar behind us, arch our back, puff our chest out, and we got straight arm kickbacks. We're getting as high as we can with those arms straight. So we're working the triceps from the shoulder end, not the typical elbow end, like a regular kickback or dip or pretty much any other tricep movement. Okay, so we got 10 of those. When 10 of those are done, if you have a barbell, you're going to use that as a slider. If you don't, you're going to actually grab a slider if you're following Jamie. And there's your ab slider or your ab rollout here. Now the key here is to pull the abs in, keep them tight, almost have a rounded back. Okay, when you start, he's going to use his hips to drive himself out. And then here's the key. The hips drive him out, the arms pull him back up. If he doesn't come back with his arms, he's going to end up in this funky position here that doesn't work the abs, only strains the shoulders. Okay, Jamie's going to show you a couple reps here. So she's going to extend out, hips drove her out, arms pull her back. Do one more rep here. Good. Now I'm going to have her do a rep for those of y'all just getting started. She's not going to extend her arms out at all. Her arms are just going to move with her body. Her hips are going to do all the movement though. Okay? No, don't extend your arms out. Stop bending your elbows.
That's hard.
Just lock your elbows out, hips back. That's it. Okay? For those of y'all just getting started, we're not using any arm other than just to hold us up. The hips are doing all the work. The arms are just staying directly below us. That extension of the arm makes it significantly harder, so work your way into that slowly and intentionally. Okay? All right, so we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every round, drop a rep and do it again. You get 10 minutes to climb down that ladder. Okay, circuit 5, your finisher. It's a 10-minute finisher. We're calling it bull ring. Okay, so you have 4 movements. One of these movements, the 4th one, will be done for as long as it takes the other person, or us possibly in this case, to do the other 3. Okay, in the gym, we're gonna have groups of 4. All right, and everyone's gonna be rotating stations while the person in the middle holds a diamond plank.
So maybe grab some friends for this workout.
Yeah, if you got friends, just grab someone on the street that's walking by like their morning walk. You, get over here. All right, so bull ring. We're gonna go 2-way kneeling med ball slam. So Jamie's gonna show it with bands. Ronnie's gonna show it actually with the med ball and then with the dumbbell. So let's just start going. So you're gonna have hands off to the side of the body here. Picking up overhead, down to the other side. Ronnie actually gets to slam it. Jamie just curls and presses it. Curl, press, up and over. Curl, press. What's up? Yeah, it's brand new band. So you got brand new bands, so it's nice and stiff. Ronnie's going to now do the curl press version with a dumbbell. Okay? And honestly, for him, he could probably grab a 70-pound dumbbell and get a good workout here. You can go pretty heavy on this. But abs are tight, and you're using your hips and glutes as much as you can. Okay? So you got 10 of those, which would equal 5 per side. All right, now we're on to overhead tricep extension. So if you're in your triangle, move stations. Okay? We got a single dumbbell, or in this case, you got double dumbbell, and we are going overhead tricep extensions. Okay, we already did a little bit of this movement in the starter. This is for real now. Okay, you got 10 good reps here, making it as difficult as you can. All right. After 10 reps of overhead tricep extensions, now we're going to 2-way curls. So 2-way curls, you got 2 options on this. Do you want to work your forearms? If the answer is yes to that, it's palms down when you're in the front of your body. Okay, reverse curl. If the answer is no to that, then it's a neutral grip here now. Okay, so you pick a reverse grip curl or a hammer grip curl, depending on whether you want forearm extra or don't. Okay, now your movement here, you got that one position, nice and narrow, and then you got the wide position with the palms up. Make sure you're getting full extension. Don't stop short. Lock them out. It's tough. You're gonna feel a big pull all the way up into that shoulder, especially if you're tight. So take these slow. Make sure you get warmed up good. Okay, so Jamie's got it. So let's real quick show you how she did this. So what's your grip? Okay, so the first, so what she did here, she grabbed it with the palms up, and then what? And then you rotated it. Okay, so then she rotated it. Now that's her position to start with. So grab the palms up, rotate it. Now she goes narrow, and now she has that perfect 2-way curl. If you can't figure it out, just do 10 reps here and 10 reps here. Okay. All right. Now we are on to the movement that is being held for as long as A, B, and C are down. We call it time of ABC. Okay, or TOABC. We're going to diamond plank. Super simple. Diamond position on the hands. Hands directly below the sternum. Pressed away as far as you can. Notice how his blades are apart. Back's almost rounded a little bit in that thoracic up here. Elbows are locked out. There's triceps flexing. I mean, if they were bigger, you'll tell more, but you know, whatever, they're flexing. You can't tell, but they are. So we're just hold strong. So Ronnie would hold that for as long as it takes Jamie to do 10 reps of A, 10 reps of B, 10 reps of C, and then they switch. Okay, if you're in a group, you're just rotating. Cool? All right, y'all, that is it. 10 minutes to try to get 3 rounds of that. That's your goal. 3 rounds of this circuit in 10 minutes. You gotta move. All right, y'all, read through it, do your warm-up, message Katie. Let's get it.